Shalom. Giving all praise to the Most High and to His Son, Yahawashi. Hope you all had a blessed day today. Today's class, we're going to be re-examining the curses that have been put on our peoples. And we're going to re-examine them through the Spirit. Often when we're breaking down the curses and we're explaining it to the people and we're bringing it out to the nation, we examine them in a carnal way to the point where we can't see past the other nations. When we apply these curses, we apply them to the other nations instead of applying them to ourselves. And how do they fit in our own community? Let me ask a problem-solving question real quick. If we in our own kingdom and a man chooses to break the commandments, will the Lord send him into the other nations to get cursed? Or will he be cursed amongst his own people? And how will these curses in Deuteronomy 28:15 through 68 apply to him if he is amongst his own people? These are the questions we have to ask so that we can truly begin to understand the curses. Let's begin. Give me Deuteronomy 28:15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Read.
But it shall come to pass,
Read.
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So we go over this all the time. These scriptures apply to us. They say, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, this is only speaking about you. This is about a contract between you and him. Read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So this is a contract between you and him. If you do not choose to keep his commandments, if you do not choose to follow in his ways, read.
That all these curses.
All these what?
That all these curses.
Let me ask you a question. Did it say all these nations?
Work it out.
What did it say?
That all these curses.
Did it say all these nations? What did it say?
That all these curses.
It said all these curses. It didn't say nothing about the other nations. It said curses that can be applied to you with or without the white man.
Work it out.
That can be applied to you with or without the African man. So we have to examine these not as all these other nations, but all these curses. Read.
Shall come upon thee.
Shall come upon us. Read.
And overtake thee.
So if we was not amongst the other nations, how would these curses apply to us?
Work it out.
Only then, when we examine it in its true form, not in the form where it's darkened by the doctrines that we've been taught, but in its true form, can we begin to understand the scriptures. Give me Genesis 3:17. Because too often are we seeing the scriptures through doctrine-tinted glasses. We don't actually read the Bible. We just confirm what we heard somebody else say through precepts. Read.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 17.
Read.
And unto Adam he said,
Read.
Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife.
Because we want to listen to everything else other than what Christ tells us to do because of our decisions within ourselves in our daily lives. Read.
And hast eaten of the tree.
And then we want to go and eat of every doctrine we see. Read.
Of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it.
Read on.
Cursed is the ground of thy sake.
He say, cursed is the ground for thy sake. See, let me ask you a question. Is it Esau's fault that you don't know how to plant no seed in the ground?
Bring it out.
It say cursed is the ground for our sake. Is it Ham's fault that we don't know how to do our taxes?
Bring it out.
Is it Moab's fault that we don't know how to start a business? Or is it the curse on the ground for our sake because of our mistakes?
That's right.
Read.
In sorrow shalt thou eat of it.
Read.
All the days of thy life.
So it don't matter where we at. Anything we try to do, it's going to be sorrowful because of our own wickedness. Whether we go into our own land, whether we get our own business, whether we try to go and buy our own property, no matter what we do, if we in wickedness, he said we going to eat of that ground in sorrow. Read.
Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee.
Always going to have problems. Read.
And thou shalt eat the herb of the field.
Read on.
In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
See, this is a curse that's coming on us, no matter what. It say, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread. We have no rest unto our feet. We have no rest unto our minds. Why? Because it's filled with wickedness. Read.
Till thou return unto the ground.
Till you return to the ground. Read.
For out of it wast thou taken.
Read on.
For dust thou art.
Read.
And unto dust shalt thou return.
That's why we done been returned to dust today. Because dust we started off with, now we done been returned to the dust. Give me Proverbs 3:33. This was brought on our people from the beginning. These curses were told to our people and warned on our people from the beginning. But we seek for any reason to blame it on somebody else. We seek for any reason to look at what somebody else is doing to us. Read.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 33.
Read.
The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked.
Read that again, Ak.
The curse of the Lord.
The curse of the Lord, read.
Is in the house of the wicked.
Did it say it was in Babylon? Did it say it was at your job?
Bring it out.
Did it say it was at the supermarket?
Bring it out.
It say the curse of the Lord is where?
In the house of the wicked.
The curse of the Lord proceeds from your own house. That's where the curse starts. So too often when something don't come to pass, oh, we get a ticket for speeding. Oh, Esau the devil. But that curse proceeded from you not paying attention in your own life. See, we eat defiled foods and we want to say, oh, the supermarket is the devil. No, brother, you don't do no research on the foods you eat.
Right.
You allow them to feed you poison.
That's right. You
haven't taken any initiative to give your family a better opportunity by getting your own food source, by going and trying to seek out some place where you can buy fresh fruit and fresh food. And it's really not as expensive as people think. Because if you find the right resources, go out and drive through the country for a day and you're going to find somebody out on the side of the road selling fresh fruit, fresh vegetables that are not as expensive.
That's right.
You can find it, but people don't want to look. That Walmart is too convenient. Read.
The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked.
Read.
But he blesseth the habitation of the just.
But when you bless, it starts in your house as well. We expecting for that blessing to come from that paycheck. We want that blessing to come from somebody just giving us something. We want that blessing to come from us getting lucky out there in the world. But the blessing, it starts from peace in your house. But the curse starts from war in your house, from constant destruction in your house, from constant uneasiness in your house, no peace in your house. That's where the curse starts. Deuteronomy 28:16. Listen to this. Read this, Ak.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 16.
Read.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
What city? What is the city is talking about?
Teach.
So if we living out in the desert or the woods somewhere, does that curse no longer apply to us?
Bring it out.
It say, cursed shalt thou be in the city. Read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So it say, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Now, too often do we want to apply that to being out there in the city, out there. And yes, there is a physical level to that, but let's see the spiritual level first before we apply it to the physical. Give me Matthew 5:14. Because everything must be understood spiritual before you can apply it to the physical. But too often do we just look at the physical aspect and that's what it is and it's over after that. Read this, Ak.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 14.
Read.
Ye are the light of the world.
Ye are the light of the world. The Israelites coming into this truth, setting up camps, setting up the nation, setting up leadership, setting up order. Ye are the light of the world. Read.
A city.
Hold on. What are we right now?
A city.
What is the Israelite community right now?
A city.
Read.
That is set on an hill cannot be hid.
Now go back to Deuteronomy 28:16 again. What did it say in Deuteronomy 28 and verse 16? Read it again, Ak.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Wait, hold on. Where are we cursed at?
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
See, that's why we got so many curses in the Israelite community. We are that city, and we cursed in the city. But let's see some more on that. Give me Revelations chapter 21 and verse 10. See, Israel don't want to apply it to themselves. Because it get real when you apply the curses to Israelites. Instead, we want to apply it to, oh, we curse in the city because we have to get up and go to work. We curse in the city because we have to pay for gas. We curse in the city because we get pulled over by the police. But what about the city that you sitting in? Curse inside your congregation.
Bring it out. Okay.
What about the city that we are building right now that can't even grow past 50 people in a camp because we cursed in our own city? Read this, Art.
Revelation 21 and verse 10.
Read.
And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain.
A great and high mountain, a great and high kingdom. Read.
And shewed me the great city.
Hold on, what are we supposed to be?
The great city.
What are we supposed to be?
That great city.
Read.
The holy Jerusalem.
The holy Jerusalem. Read.
Descending out of heaven from God.
But we can't have that. You know why? Because we cursed in that city. We're cursed in the Israelite community. Give me Lamentations 2 and 15. See, and it's because of our own wickedness. See, the Lord said we could be blessed in the city. We could be blessed in our community. We could be blessed in everything we're trying to set up. But instead, because of our own wickedness, if you look at the Israelite community today, it's in shambles. It's in shambles. Read this, Ak.
Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 15.
Read.
All that pass by clap their hands at thee.
See, yeah, the other nations, when they look at us, they laugh at us. When they look at us, and it's not just in the other, look at the 2/3.
Bring it out.
When the 2/3 see us, they laugh.
That's right.
Power Rangers.
That's right.
They laugh. Read.
They hiss and wag their heads at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying,
Read.
Is this the city?
Hold on, what are we?
Is this the city?
Is this the city? Read.
That men call the perfection of beauty?
See, this city is supposed to be the perfection of beauty. Read.
The joy of the whole earth.
But this city cannot be that because we curse.
Right.
In our own city, in our own community, in our own camps, we curse because of our wickedness. But we believe as soon as we put them fringes on and we come into the congregation and we say Shabbat Shalom, all of a sudden the curses are lifted.
Bring it out.
And you don't even realize is the curse done followed you. It followed you. Just because you're not working today don't mean them curses ain't followed you. Give me Matthew 13 and 37. Israel got to apply the curses to themselves. Read this,
St. Matthew chapter 13 and verse 37.
Read.
He answered and said unto them,
Read.
He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man.
See, he that soweth good seed is of the Son of Man. Is the Son of Man. Has the spirit of the Son of Man. Read.
The field.
Hold on. The what?
The field.
What are we cursed in?
The field.
Read.
Is the world.
See, we cursed out there. We cursed out there too. We cursed in our own community, and then we cursed when we go out there to the field. When we go out there to the world. When we go out there to reach the lost sheep. We cursed out there too. Read.
The good seed.
The good seed. Read.
Are the children of the kingdom.
Are the children of the kingdom. When we go and we try to reach the good seed. When we go and plant those good seeds out in the field. Read.
But the tares.
But the what?
The tares.
The what?
The tares.
Read.
Are the children of the wicked.
That's a curse in the field. The fact that we got tares amongst us, man. That is a curse in the field of the world.
Teach.
The fact that we got imposters. Brothers that don't want to stand up for the Lord.
Bring it out.
Brothers, sisters that don't want to come in and get themselves right. Brothers that's in it for vainglory, for pride. And don't want to humble themselves. Read.
The enemy that sowed them is the devil.
See, the thing is, it said the enemy. The enemy that sowed them is the devil.
Bring it out.
Who is that enemy sowing seed? Can Esau sow seed?
Bring it out.
Was the seed even given to Esau?
Teach.
Was the seed even given to Moab? So how can he sow the seed?
Bring it out.
Read.
The harvest is the end of the world.
Read on.
And the reapers are the angels.
Give me Jeremiah 14 and 17. Let's get some more on this. See, you got to break this stuff down because when you're reading it, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and you look and you see a city. Oh, it's got big buildings. That must be the city.
Teach.
You know how carnal that is?
Bring it out.
When you read that scripture, all you see in your mind is the city they show you on the TV. Watching New York City on the television, you thinking that's the city. In the field, the only thing you can think of is the cotton field.
Teach.
When you think of the field, the only thing you can think of is the sugarcane field. And you don't even understand you standing in the field right now. You standing in the city right now. Jeremiah 14 and 17. Read that, Art.
The prophet Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 17.
Read.
Therefore thou shalt say this word unto them.
Read on.
Let mine eyes run down with tears night and day.
Night and day. Read.
And let them not see.
Read on.
For the virgin daughter of my people is broken with a great grief.
See, this is talking about us right now. The virgin daughter. The people coming into the truth. The people coming into the true light. The virgin daughter. Read.
With a very grievous blow.
We're being hit with a very grievous blow right now. Why? Read.
If I go forth into the field.
If I go forth out into that world. If I go forth out into that field. Read.
Then behold. The slain with the sword.
You see our brothers and sisters out there slain with the sword. Slain with false doctrine. Slain with lies. Slain with the physical sword. Slain with the spiritual sword. Slain with false food. Slain with GMOs. Slain with genetic modification. Slain down with the sword. Out there. Read.
And if I enter into the city.
But then if I enter into the city, into Jerusalem, into the camps, into the Israelite community, read.
Then behold,
read.
Them that are sick with famine.
The Israelite community is sick with famine.
That's right.
No word out there, no bread, no holy water, no water coming out the rock of Meribah. Nothing. Read.
Yea, both the prophet and the priest go about into a land that they know not.
See, it's saying the prophet and the priest don't even know nothing about the land that we trying to build. How can we build Israel if we don't know what Israel was? If we don't know how Israel acted? If we don't know how to be an Israelite man and how to be an Israelite woman? Our people, we don't study. Read.
Hast thou utterly rejected Judah?
Have we utterly rejected our forefathers? Read.
Have thy soul loathed Zion?
Read on.
Why hast thou smitten us?
Read.
And there is no healing for us.
Why is there no healing for us? Read.
We looked for peace.
We looking for that peace, right? Read.
And there is no good.
But see, how can we have peace if we're not growing?
That's right.
How can we have peace if we're not evolving? See, the thing is, the truth, except for very few, we're not evolving. We're not growing. Not taking the next steps. Not taking the initiative. Because if we was, as a unit, as a city, as a nation, if we was growing, we would be 100 steps ahead of where we are right now. And that show you, brothers don't want to get out of this place, man. This place is too good to some people. Read.
And for the time of healing, and behold trouble.
And behold trouble. And I'm going to tell you something else too. If it's cursed in the city, we cursed in the city, a lot of these brothers out here making a real good paycheck, man.
Bring it out.
Feeling like they ain't really cursed in the city. Feeling like they ain't really cursed in the field because they sitting in the manager chair.
Bring it out.
Because they sitting in the supervisor chair.
Bring it out.
That's why you got to re-examine these curses, man. Because you got to see, just because you make that good paycheck, don't think you escaped them curses. It's within you. Give me verse 13. Let's see what this is really talking about. Read verse 13.
Verse 13.
Read.
Then said I, Lord God.
Read.
Behold. The prophet.
The what?
The prophet.
The what?
The prophet.
Why is it talking about the field and the city and the sword and famine? And then earlier on in the same chapter, it's talking about the prophets.
Bring it out.
That's telling you who it's talking about. How can it be switching up in the middle of the chapter about what it's talking about? Read.
The prophets say unto them.
Read.
Ye shall not see the sword.
Read on.
Neither shall ye have famine.
But didn't it say that the city is now sick with famine? So which prophet's telling you that? Which prophet's telling you there ain't no famine? Read.
But I will give you assured peace in this place.
Read on.
Then the Lord said unto me.
Read.
The prophets prophesy lies in my name.
So is he lying? He said the prophets prophesy lies in my name. But then if you go down to verse 18, he's saying if I go forth into that field, I'm going to see the slain with the sword. If I come within the city, I'm going to see sick with famine.
That's right.
He's saying they prophesy lying. Read.
I sent them not.
He say he sent them not. Read.
Neither have I commanded them.
Read.
Neither spake unto them.
Read on.
They prophesied unto you a false vision and divination.
See, it's letting you know, man, a lot of these, man, we'll let you know right now, man. You know, if you in sin, I don't care what fringes you got. I don't care how many Sabbath day you come to. You still under them curses.
Bring it out.
And I'm not going to lie to you. Israel is still under them curses in the truth and out the truth.
Right.
I'm not going to lie to you and tell you come into this building and we can help you get out the curses. I can't help you with that. That's 100% on you. You got to get yourself out them curses. Read.
They prophesied unto you a false vision and divination.
Read on.
And a thing of nothing.
A thing of nothing. Read.
And the deceit of their heart.
And the deceit of their heart. Give me Deuteronomy 28:17. We got to stop babying the people.
Right.
We got to stop treating the people like they can't understand.
Bring it out.
We got to stop treating the women like they don't understand the scriptures.
See?
We got to stop treating the children like they're stupid.
See?
All of Israel can understand simple words. Keep God's commandments and live.
That's right.
Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 17.
Read.
Cursed shall be thy basket.
Is this your shopping basket? Is this your H-E-B Walmart shopping basket?
Make 'em think.
Cursed shall be thy basket. Read.
And thy store.
And thy store. Give me Matthew 14:15. See, I'm going to tell you something Israel don't think.
Bring it out.
Israel don't think, because yeah, on a physical level, you can say it's your basket because we had baskets. Okay. Yeah. On a physical level, yeah. Cursed shall be thy basket. Yeah, we ain't got no food. Okay. We get it. Let's get more in depth. Let's see more about it. Let's get spiritual. Matthew 14:15. Read this.
St. Matthew chapter 14 and verse 15.
Read.
And when it was evening, his disciples came to him saying, this is a desert place.
Hold on. What they say to him?
This is a desert place.
What did they say to Christ?
This is a desert place.
This is a desert place. A place with no water. A place with no food. A place with no understanding. A place with no wisdom. A place without Christ. But let me get more on that. Give me Isaiah 51:3. Let's see what he meant by this is a desert place. This is a desert place. Read that out.
Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 3.
Read.
For the Lord shall comfort Zion.
See, the Lord shall comfort Zion. Read.
He will comfort all her waste places.
See, he's saying he gonna comfort all of her waste places. Read.
And he will make her wilderness like Eden.
He said he will bring this wilderness that we inside of Zion, inside of Israel. He gonna make it like the Garden of Eden.
That's right.
Once again. But that hasn't come yet. We thinking that all of a sudden we gonna wake up and there are gonna be fruit trees and vines and vegetables growing out the ground and water flowing. It's gonna be a beautiful sight of nature. And we thinking that's the Garden of Eden? When will we get spiritual? Read.
And her desert, like the garden of the Lord.
He say our desert, the desert that we in right now, he gonna turn it into the garden of the Lord. Read.
Joy and gladness.
Hold on, what are we supposed to have?
Joy and gladness.
What are we supposed to have?
Joy and gladness.
Read.
Shall be found therein.
Read.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Read.
And the voice of melody.
But there is no voice of melody in Israel right now. All there is the voice of war. All there is the voice of anguish. All there is the voice of anger. All there is the voice of malice. All there is the voice of rebuke. All there is the voice of hatred. Ain't no voice of melody out there in Israel. We don't know what it means to sing praises to the Lord. We don't know what that means. We don't. All we know is rebuke the other nations for the Lord. That's all we know. And we thinking that's singing praises. Matthew 14:15. Let's go back. When are we going to rebuke ourselves? Read this,
St. Matthew chapter 14 and verse 15.
Read.
And when it was evening, his disciples came to him saying, this is a desert place.
This is a desert place. Read.
And the time is now past.
And the time is now past. Read.
Send the multitude away.
Hold on. What do our people do to the sheep?
Send the multitude away.
How do our people treat the people that's out there on the streets?
Send the multitude away.
Too many of our people sending them away. Not really treating them like the sheep and treating them. And as soon as sister walk by with some pants on, send the multitude away.
Teach.
Desert place, get them out of here.
Bring it out.
Read on.
Send the multitude away.
Read.
That they may go into the villages.
Read.
And buy themselves victory.
And how many of our people are letting Israel just teach them? I mean, everybody's supposed to study. Everybody's supposed to learn. But whose job is it to teach them? Whose job is it to give them the feeding? Too many of Israel are neglecting their job in giving them the feeding. Giving them the true vine. Giving them the true word. Giving them good pasture. Instead, allowing them to go into the villages and fend for themselves. Read.
But Yahawashi said unto them,
read.
They need not depart.
See, Yahawashi said, do not send them away. They don't need to go away from us. Read.
Give ye them to eat.
Do your job. Do your job and give ye them to eat. Read.
And they say unto him,
read.
We have here but 5 loaves.
We have but this word. Read.
And 2 fishes.
And 2 nations to feed. Read.
He said, bring them hither to me.
He said, bring them to Christ. That's our job. We don't have to give them the deep knowledge of the Bible. We don't have to go that in depth. We don't have to do all this extra. All we got to do is bring them to Christ. That's all we got to do. That is our job. Bring them closer to Christ. Everybody else want to do all the extra. All the extra. Get so deep, get so into it, break this down, break that down, and don't know nothing about Christ.
That's right.
Read on.
And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and looked, and took the 5 loaves, and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed, and brake, and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude.
See how it said? It said Christ blessed and broke down the loaves and the fishes and then gave it to the disciples to give to everybody else. Too many brothers thinking it's them. They the ones breaking it down.
Bring it out.
They the ones getting the understanding. They the ones breaking down the 5 loaves. They the ones breaking down the 2 fishes. It say all you got to do is bring them to Christ and Christ will break it down and give it to you to give to them.
Right.
We got pride in Israel. Read.
And they did all eat.
And they did. Everyone ate. Read.
And were filled.
And were filled. Read.
And they took up of the fragments that remained 12 baskets full.
Hold on. What was there? 12 what?
12 baskets full.
We ain't got no full baskets in Israel. Ain't nobody eating out here. Ain't nobody getting filled out here. Ain't nobody breaking the 5 loaves for the people. Ain't nobody breaking the 2 fishes for the people.
Bring it out.
Cursed shall be our baskets. Read.
And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men.
Read.
Beside women and children.
See, we could just say, oh, what do you use when you go shopping? A basket. Oh, we cursed in our baskets. Not even know that the curse is rampant and poisoning amongst Israel. And the fact that we ain't got the word coming out like it should be. The truth coming out like it should be. Our baskets should be 12 baskets full right now. Instead, we got 1 or 2. We got 1 or 2 baskets full right now. Give me Isaiah 39 and 5. Isaiah 39 and 5. We got a long way to get to that 12 baskets. Why? Because nobody want to break it down. Read this.
The prophet Isaiah chapter 39 and verse 5.
Read.
Then said Isaiah to Hezekiah, hear the word of the Lord of hosts.
Read on.
Behold, the days come, that all that is in thine house.
All that is in thine house. Read.
And that which thy fathers have laid up in store unto this day.
And everything our forefathers laid up in store, up until this day. Read.
Shall be carried to Babylon.
Everything has been lost here. Everything that we had, our knowledge, our history, everything. And nobody wants to dig it up and bring it back.
Yeah.
Instead, we want to fight over useless things, genealogies, disputings. Instead of bringing the storehouses back.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we can say, oh, yeah, we ain't got no storehouses. We ain't got no grains. We ain't got no apples. These things are true. Yes, that is the physical understanding for sure. You can definitely break it down like that. But Israel, we on a new level. We can't just continue eating the same old stale bread every day and think we're going to grow. We got to mix up the recipe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Read.
Nothing shall be left, saith the Lord.
Read.
And of thy sons that shall issue from thee, which thou shalt beget.
Read.
Shall they take away?
Read on.
And they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon.
What is a eunuch? A eunuch can't bear no fruit.
Bring it out.
That's what a eunuch is. See, when we read words, we look at it, we like, oh, you know, he must have just had his nether regions cut off.
Bring it out.
You know, but a eunuch can't bear no fruit. How many brothers out here sterile?
Bring it out.
You know what I'm saying? Been in the truth 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, ain't bared no fruit. Sterile. See what I'm saying? Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. But we can say it's a grocery store. Cursed shall be thy grocery store. You know. Give me Deuteronomy 32:7. And there's gonna have to be a part 2 to this. It's gonna have to be, because I'm gonna go through it all. And you gotta look at it all. I'm gonna tell you something. Israel don't read the curses no more. You know what I'm saying? Because we believe that we have the understanding of the curses. When we get to Deuteronomy 28, while we're reading our Bible, when we get to Deuteronomy 28, a lot of us skip it. Because we think we got it. Read this, Ak.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7.
Read.
Remember the days of old.
It say, remember the days of old. Read.
Consider the years of many generations.
This is our store. This is our cursed store. This is our cursed basket. No, we're not considering the days of old. We're not remembering the years of the many generations. Read.
As thy father.
We have no fathers to ask. Cursed in the storehouse of knowledge. Cursed in the storehouse of tradition. Cursed in the storehouse of our own history. Read.
And he will shew thee.
Read.
Thy elders.
Ain't no elders. No true elders. Read.
And they will tell thee.
We have no... See, the thing is, if you just have a bunch of young cats running around with young cat knowledge, you have no storehouse. You have no buildup of knowledge. You have no buildup of wisdom. You have no ancient manuscripts. You have no texts. You have no historic knowledge. Nothing. All we have is brand new food.
Bring it out.
Brand new apples coming off the tree.
Bring it out.
No storehouses with the old apples from the days of old. None of that. None of that. Give me Deuteronomy 28:18.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 18.
Read.
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body.
Hold on, what did it say?
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body.
Give me 2 Ezra 5 and 8. It say, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body. We know the fruit of your body is your children. Yes. Yes. Let me ask you a question. Is it the white man's fault that your child grown up as a pothead? Real talk.
No.
Is it the African man's fault that your child grew up as a fake thug on the streets?
No.
Real talk. Be honest with yourself. Is it Moab's fault that your child grew up gay? Read this.
2 Ezra chapter 5 and verse 8.
Read.
There shall be a confusion also in many places.
There shall be confusion in our places. Read.
And the fire shall be oft sent out again.
Still got the curses amongst us. Read.
And the wild beast shall change their places.
Read on.
And menstruous women.
And what?
And menstruous women.
You got emotional women and you got emotional men. Read.
Shall bring forth monsters.
It's our curse. It say, curse shall be the fruit of thy body. This is our curse. This is our burden to bear. And because of our sins, our children are cursed because of our actions. Not because they watch too much Sesame Street. That's why little Timmy grew up with a little twink in his step.
Bring it out.
It's because of our actions. Because you told him to sit in front of that TV and watch that Sesame Street and didn't teach him how to live his life properly and left that TV to raise your child. Because you sent him out there on them streets with them other friends you knew wasn't no good, and he ended up smoking weed every day for the rest of his life because of you. But we want to be like, oh, the white man, the devil. He taught my child this. He taught my child that. He got us messed up. He got this, that, and the third.
Bring it out.
When it's our own fault. We don't want to take responsibility for our own curses. Give me Proverbs 22:6. Let me show y'all some. See, I'm going to tell y'all something, man. We don't apply these scriptures to ourselves. Because if we did, we want to get these scriptures and we want to rebuke everybody else. But read this,
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6.
Read.
Train up a child in the way he should go.
Whatever way you trained your child to be when they was young, read.
And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
He is that way now because of the way that you trained him. The scriptures just said it. It say train up a child in the way they should go, and when they get older, they will not depart from it.
That's right.
So if your child will not depart from being a fake thug, it's because you raised them to be a fake thug. Right. And I'm just being real. Is it because of somebody else's fault? Is it because the curse is, curse shall be the fruit of thy body? We can't help it. It's a curse. We can't do nothing about it. I guess little Timmy just going to be a fake thug. It's a curse. Or is it because of our actions? Give me Deuteronomy 28:18.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 18.
Read.
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body.
Read.
And the fruit of thy land.
Now let me ask you a question. We want to read this and we say, okay, cursed shall be the fruit of thy land. But we don't even got no land.
That's right.
Then you get the spiritual aspect. Who is the land? We are the land. That's right. And all the fruit coming out of Israel right now is garbage. Right. I'm not going to say all the fruit, but, a majority of it. The ruling, what we got going on right now in Israel, it's not good fruit. We need better fruit coming out of Israel. Read.
The increase of thy kind.
Read.
And the flocks of thy sheep.
See, the flocks of our own sheep. The increase of our own kind. We ain't got no kind. We ain't got no sheep. So what does it mean? We are the sheep. And we are cursed right now. This is a curse going on right now. Give me Sirach 41:5. Let's get some more on that.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 41 and verse 5.
Read.
The children of sinners.
See, the children of sinning Israelites. Sinning Israelites. Read.
Are abominable children.
Abominable children coming out of Israel. Read.
And they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly.
Read on.
The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish.
That's why a lot of these camps are not prospering. The inheritance of the sinners' children shall fall down. Read.
And their posterity
Read.
Shall have a perpetual reproach.
That's why the reproach can't leave Israel right now. Because we're not teaching our children right. Read.
The children will complain of an ungodly father.
And see, the children are going to complain about this generation. Because this generation ain't teaching them right. Because we want to live in our own, what we want to do. We want to fulfill the lust of our own flesh.
Well,
so we're not making that sacrifice to make their lives better. They're going to grow up and be like, why didn't my dad invest in land? Why didn't my dad build me a house? Why didn't my dad start a business? Why can't my dad pass anything down to me? That's exactly what the children are going to be saying. Read.
Because they shall be reproached for his sake.
For his sake. Read.
Woe be unto you, ungodly men.
Read.
Which have forsaken the law of the Most High.
Read on.
For if ye increase.
But if we increase, read.
It shall be to your destruction.
It shall be to our destruction. That's why Israel think just because you got some views on YouTube that you in the spirit. It's not the case. Just because somebody came into your camp that you are doing the work of the Lord, it's not the case. It say, if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. Read.
And if ye be born,
when you come into this truth, read.
Ye shall be born to a curse.
You shall be born to a curse. Coming into the curses and thinking we left the curses. Coming into the nation of Israel and thinking we just got out the curses. It's a lie. Yeah. We just now seeing what the curses are. It's only the beginning. It's only the beginning of your eyes being awakened to the curses. It's not the cure. You ain't cured yet. Read.
And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse.
Read.
And if ye die.
And if ye die, read.
A curse shall be your portion.
So it's like you curse whether you come in or go out, because it's like you basically the same person. Israel is not changing when they come in the truth. They just coming in and putting on fringes. So you being born into the truth and the curse, and you going back out into that world in the curse. Curse in the city and curse in the field. See, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 20.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 20.
Read.
The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do.
Read.
Until thou be destroyed.
Give me Genesis chapter 4 and verse 11. Let's see if this is a curse that is just because it's somebody else want to keep us down. So this curse applies to us because every time I go to try to get that raise, Esau shut me down. I guess that's what that curse is talking about. Let's see if somebody else did not get that same curse. Read this.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 11.
Read.
And now art thou cursed from the earth.
From the what?
From the earth.
I thought it was from Esau.
From the earth.
I thought it was from Moab.
From the earth.
I thought it was from Ham.
From the earth.
From the earth. Curse from the earth. Read.
Which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
Read.
When thou fillest the ground.
When thou tillest the ground. When you put any work in. When you try to build something for yourself. When you try to set up a business. When you try to put yourself out there. Read.
It shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
Nothing will come of it. Nothing will come of it. This is a curse that's put on our people that is enacted through everything we do in our lives. Somebody else don't got to come and do it to you. You do it to yourself. We do it to ourselves. Read.
A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
That's what we are right now. Everybody look at us, the bottom of society. Fugitive and a vagabond. Deuteronomy 28 and 20.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 20.
Read.
The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do.
Read.
Until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly.
Read on.
Because of the wickedness of thy doing.
See, we don't want to hear that. It say because of the wickedness of our doings. Read.
Whereby thou hast forsaken me.
We have forsaken him. Give me Deuteronomy 9 and 4. Let's get Israel need a reality check. Israel need a reality check. So let's give Israel a reality check. Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 9 and verse 4.
Read.
Speak not thou in thine heart, after that the Lord thy God hath cast them out from before thee.
After the Lord cast these other nations out from before you. After the Lord cast the wicked enemies from before you. Don't speak in your heart. Read.
Saying, for my righteousness the Lord hath brought me in to possess this land.
See, too many brothers looking at themselves, seeing nothing but righteousness.
Yeah.
They looking at themselves, yeah, the Lord, he gave me that job because of my righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, you know the Lord, yeah, he allowed me to get that car because of my righteousness. You know what I'm saying?
Teach.
Read.
But for the wickedness of these nations, the Lord doth drive them out from before thee.
See, the only reason the Lord deal with us because everybody else is more wicked. See, the thing is, Israel stopped looking at themselves like we so high and mighty. Like we just the greatest thing to ever set foot on the earth. Like our poop don't stink.
Bring it out.
Like we just smell like butterflies and rainbows.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and we want to exalt ourselves so much. Oh, we the fastest, we the strongest, we the most intelligent, we the most charismatic. Since when was you any of those things? Be real, Ak. You was that thing 100 pounds ago. You know what I'm saying? You was that thing before 15 years of weed. You know what I'm saying? So we boast ourselves, but we don't look at ourselves and see how the Lord has put his mercy on us.
That's right.
Throughout, even because of our wickedness. Read.
Not for thy righteousness.
Not for thy righteousness. Read.
Or for the uprightness of thine heart.
Or for the uprightness of your heart. Read.
Dost thou go to possess their land?
See, it's not because of your righteousness. It's not because of how great you are. Read.
But for the wickedness of these nations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee.
See, it's because the other nations are wicked. That's why the Lord drove them out from before us. Read.
And that he may perform the word which the Lord sware unto the fathers of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Read.
Understand therefore that the Lord thy God giveth thee not this good land to possess it for thy righteousness.
He didn't give us this land to possess it for our righteousness. Read.
For thou art a stiff-necked people.
He said he's letting us know. Reality check. Reality check time. Every time you look in the mirror, you smell your own farts and you think it smells great.
Bring it out.
Reality check time. It say we are but a stiff-necked people. We are but a rebellious people. Deuteronomy 28:21. See, that don't sound like your daddy. I don't know who does. Because you be walking around, I did them dishes, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm the top dog. Daddy like, man, it took me 2 years to get you to do them damn dishes.
Bring it out.
You ain't top dog around here. You see, your room still look like crap. Your bathroom still look like crap. Yeah, hang your head down. Yeah, go in there and clean that bathroom. See, the son, as soon as he do them dishes, he thinking he up there in the bleachers. Read this, Ak.
Deuteronomy 28:21.
Read.
The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee.
See, the Lord made that pestilence cleave unto thee. So I guess this is the GMO modification that Esau did to us. Oh, it ain't the fact that you've been eating bad for the past 45 years. I guess that ain't it. I guess it ain't the fact that you've been smoking for the past 50 years. I guess it ain't that. I guess it ain't the fact that we've been doing it to ourselves, staring at the TV screen for 25 years, eyes going blind. Read.
Until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it.
Polluting our own mind with every doctrine. Giving ourselves over to everything we see. Being poisoned by everything we read, by everything we look at. Doing it to ourselves. Read.
The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish.
See, they shall pursue thee until thou perish. Give me Psalms chapter 17 and verse 13. Let me show you something. Psalms chapter 17 and verse 13. Because we know Esau, yeah, sure, he give us sicknesses. Yeah, we understand that. But let's see what the Lord say about that. Read this, Ak.
Psalms chapter 17 and verse 13.
Read.
Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down.
Read.
Deliver my soul from the wicked.
Read.
Which is thy sword.
Which is thy what?
Which is thy sword.
See, the Bible say, the Lord say, King David say, that the wicked is the Lord's sword to use against us. But all we want to look at is what somebody else is doing. Why did the Lord send that sickness against us? You want to look at Esau, why he put them 5G towers up in the sky to mess with your brain waves? Why don't you ask the Lord why he doing that to you?
Bring it out.
You want to look at Esau, why he poisoning you in the supermarket with GMO foods? Why don't you ask the Lord why he doing that to you? Ask the Lord why he put Esau there to put them GMO foods in your belly. Ask the Lord why. Maybe he'll tell you through the scriptures, oh, because of the wickedness of your own doings. Oh, they don't want to hear that. Esau the devil, I guess. See, read on.
From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes.
Give me Deuteronomy 28:13. Oh, I think I wrote that down wrong. Deuteronomy 28. 23. That's what I wanted. Yeah. Deuteronomy 28:23.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 23.
Read.
And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass.
See, the thing is, the kingdom that we see right now, the way that Israel is going forward right now, the understanding of what heaven is supposed to be is carnal. It's all carnal. We're not seeing the true spiritual of what heaven could be. All we see is carnal. Read.
And the earth that is under thee shall be iron.
We don't have nothing but chains on our feet. Chains on our feet, and everything we look for is carnal. This is curses we put upon our own selves. When we read that, we looking and saying, oh, the heaven that is over thee shall be brass. Well, I don't even think a lot of people we don't even read that curse out on the street because we can't break it down. We don't understand that we're doing it to ourselves. What is heaven? What is the kingdom of heaven? Is it not Jerusalem? Is it not the holy city? Have we not turned it into a arm of flesh, an arm of man, a construct of the world, brass, iron, things that can be melted, things that can be destroyed, instead of allowing them to be the true spiritual things that can never be destroyed? But see, there's more to that. Read on.
The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust.
The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. Read.
From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed.
Give me Job chapter 36, verse 27. Give me Job 36:27. It say the rain that come down upon thy land shall be powder and dust. What is that rain? What is that rain? Read this out.
The book of Job, chapter 36 and verse 27.
Read.
For he maketh small the drops of water.
The drops of water. Read.
They pour down rain according to the vapor thereof.
Read on.
Which the clouds
do. The clouds is that leadership. Read.
Which the clouds do drop and distill upon man abundantly.
The rain is that living water. Read.
Also, can any understand the spreadings of the clouds?
Can any understand the spreadings of the leadership of the clouds, of the judgment that is put forth? Read.
Or the noise of his tabernacle?
Or the true understanding of his word? Read.
Behold, he spreadeth his light upon it.
He spreads his light upon it. Read.
And covereth the bottom of the sea.
And cover it so that everyone will understand. Read.
For by them judges he the people.
It say by those clouds and by that rain judges he the people. Read.
He giveth meat in abundance.
He giveth meat in abundance. Give me Jude verse 11. See, that rain that's supposed to be coming from the clouds right now is dust and powder. It's not really edifying the people. It's not giving them enough to grow. Read this, Art.
The book of Jude and verse 11.
Read.
Woe unto them.
Read.
For they have gone in the way of Cain.
Too many of our people have gone in the way of Cain. Read.
And ran greedily after the error of Balaam.
Read.
For reward. And perished in the gainsaying of Kor.
Read.
These are spots in your feast of charity.
See, these are spots in our feast of charity. Read.
When they feast with
When they feast with us. Read.
Feeding themselves without fear.
Feeding themselves with it. Reading this Bible, teaching this word, fulfilling this truth, but without fear, without changing inside. Read.
Clouds they are, without water.
See, they show themselves to be leaders, but they have no water. Powder and dust. Read.
Carried about of wind.
Carried about of every doctrine they hear. Read.
Trees whose fruit withering.
Read on.
Without fruit.
Read.
Twice dead.
Twice dead. Read.
Plucked up by the roots.
Plucked up by the roots. Give me Deuteronomy 28:25.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 25.
Read.
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
See, it say the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Read on.
Thou shalt go out one way against them.
Read.
And flee 7 ways before them.
Read.
And shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
So we thinking that this is when we went to war against them, or, that, on a carnal level, yeah, we can't go to war against them. We can't fight them on a physical level. But who are we going to war against? Which enemies? You know what I'm saying? Which enemies? Let's get that. Give me Psalms 139 and 19. Read this out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 19.
Read.
Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God.
Who can be wicked? Ain't that our peoples? We are the ones that's wicked. Read.
Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men.
Read.
For they speak against thee wickedly.
You say they speak against the Lord wickedly. Read.
And thine enemies.
The Lord's enemies. Read.
Take thy name in vain.
Give me Exodus 20 and 7. Let's hold what we got. Let's get Exodus 20 and 7 real quick. It said the Lord's enemies take his name in vain. Read this, Ark.
The book of the Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 7.
Read.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
Can the white man take the Lord's name in vain? The commandment wasn't given to him. It's got to be talking about us. Read.
For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Let's go back. Psalms 139, verse 21.
Psalms 139 and verse 21.
Read.
Do not I hate them,
Read.
O Lord, that hate thee.
That hate him. Read.
And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?
Read on.
I hate them with perfect hatred.
Read on.
I count them mine enemies.
See, of our own people can be our enemies. Going out against our peoples to fight for the nation. Fleeing away from them. They can send their police after us. They can send their media after us. They can send their news after us. They can send all these things after us. And the peoples that's not in the spirit, flee. Get their camps broken up. Get pushed back out of the truth. Give me Deuteronomy 28:26.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 26.
Read.
And thy carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away.
And no man shall fray them away. Give me John chapter 10 and verse 11. John chapter 10, verse 11. It say, thy carcass shall be eaten up by the animals, by the beasts of the earth, by the birds of the earth. But the thing is, we want to just think that's talking about getting hung on the trees. Yeah, on a carnal level, getting hung on the trees. But how does it apply to us today? Read this, Art.
The book of St. John, chapter 10 and verse 11.
Read.
I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep.
Read.
But he that is in hireling.
But he that don't really care for the sheep. Read.
And not the shepherd.
And is not the shepherd. Read.
Whose own the sheep are not.
Whose own the sheep are not. Read.
Seeth the wolf coming.
They gonna see the beasts of the field coming. They gonna see the birds of the air coming to feast on our carcasses, on our nation, on everything we trying to build. Read.
And leaveth the sheep.
They don't really care. They don't really try to stop what's going with how they fight against us. They don't really try to push us forward to get into that next level. They leave the sheep. Read.
And fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep.
That's why we still scattered to this day, because we got too many hirelings out there and not enough shepherds.
That's right.
Read.
the hireling fleeth, because he is an hireling, and careth not for the sheep.
That's all we need on that. So when we examine these curses, we're gonna go into it again, and we're gonna get more and more and more out of it. But for now, that's gonna be it. But when we examine these curses, let's start to look at the spiritual aspect instead of just regurgitating what we've heard throughout our time in the truth. On that, we say shalom.